Hey y'all, I thought I might try doing this August update a little bit differently as I go through my TBR books and as I read some of them off of my physical TBR. I thought it might be great to have the discussion about the book and what I thought of the book as I finish it. So I've actually finished two before I had this idea, and one today, but one a few days ago. So the first step, without further ado, is The Husbands. I had such high hopes for this book, and it was kind of a good time, and yeah, it's a little repetitive. I mean, the whole premise is her getting all of these different husbands out of the attic. And while I liked the premise, while I thought it sounded interesting, and while I liked kind of the first half-ish of this book, things went off the rails, at a high level. And the ending was, in my humble opinion, the ending was pitiful. The ending felt very much like a cop-out, and I did not like it. So as much as it pains me to say this, this will be leaving. No, this was like 2.75 because I had somewhat of a good time, and then I really just didn't. The next book, I just finished this today, so round of applause, please. I loved it. Okay, I have the perfect bookmark for this too. Look at the bookmark I was using. It's still sitting in here. Right? Because of Mongo? Anyway, this is perfection. I'm trying really hard not to dive immediately into book two. Yes, I do need to read the 6 books currently out and get to the arc of book 7, which is coming out in September. But I would like to have a little bit of time to digest this. I think I might jump into Mrs. Nash's Ashes next as a little bit of a palate cleanser. If you're not familiar, it is a lit RPG book that follows 27-year-old former Coast Guardsman Carl, who is caught out in the middle of the night with his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, when aliens smash and take over their world. He is basically forced to either live on the outside with nothing, or go into the dungeon to compete in an intergalactic survival style, Survivor meets Gladiator reality TV show. This is so good. This is everything. I love Mordecai. I love Donut. Everybody has to love Donut. But yeah, I can't recommend this enough. Like I said, I'm going to try and read Mrs. Nash's Ashes next. You'll see in the next clip if I did that or not, before I jump into Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is book 2, and I think it's actually the smallest in the series, which is another reason that I just want to gobble it up right now. But yeah, that's my first check-in. I will see you for the next one. Bye. I finished this last night. I really liked it. This is 4 stars for me as far as a romance, but it was also a bit more. And I will say, after, was it Finders Keepers that came out this year? Yes. I did not vibe with that. You guys know I didn't like it. I didn't keep it. So I was a little nervous about this one because I bought it loving Happy Medium, and then I got Finders Keepers, read that before I even read this one. And yeah, the rest is history. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, enough, a lot to keep it. And I'm really, really, really happy that I have now read it. I think it was good to save it for the summer. It felt very summery. This is essentially a road trip from DC to Florida. So what could be more summery? Here we have Millie, who is on a mission to reunite her former, she's only a former old lady best friend because she died. So she is taking some of Mrs. Nash's ashes to reunite her with her former love. And that woman is in hospice care. So she is got a fixed amount of time to do this, right? She's on a deadline. The airlines go down. While she's in the airport, she runs into kind of an acquaintance, a very minor acquaintance, someone that her ex ran in the same circles as. So not a friend by any stretch. They end up on this road trip together. A lot of calamitous stuff happens on the way there, and they kind of end up falling in love, which is great. That's what you want in a romance, right? So this is, like I said, a little bit more than just a romance. There is grief. There is another love story also baked in when we're going back and kind of experiencing Mrs. Nash's love through letters and things like that. So I thought it was really great. I had a good time. I really enjoyed it. It did make me cry in the end, but I'm kind of compromised right now, so I don't I don't know if it was real crying or not, but it did get me all up in my feels. And I will say Hollis is like my favorite type of male main character. Very grouchy, very like harsh seeming on the outside, but is actually secretly a cinnamon roll. And bonus points, he loves cinnamon rolls. So win-win. Really enjoyed it. I also want to show you, I've started Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I think I'm like 5 chapters in. It's Sunday, and I am going to be in a packing frenzy. I swear all of this is going to make sense. I'm going to be in a packing frenzy. I'm leaving Thursday morning very early, and I'm not coming back home until the 25th. Today is the 10th. I'm going to finish this book today. I'm going to finish it. I have been packing a little bit here and there, like gathering my stuff like a little squirrel, and I'm going to, I think, pop in the audio for this and probably carry this around so I can like keep up page-wise. But yeah, for when I can't have my eyes on the page, I'm going to be listening to this, and I'm going to finish this today. Don't tell Elot. He's like blowing off the roof. He's painting his trailer. He's doing all sorts of like real chores. I'm going to read this whole book. So I might have an update for you tonight. It's not that big. This is like the smallest of all of them. And next is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. So far, I'm loving this. I am so happy that we get more Mordecai. I was afraid in the first book that I was going to fall in love with him and he was just going to sort of be like only there for this section. I think he might be a constant, and that gives me so much joy and excitement. So I'm going to shut up now and go like finish this whole book and let you know when I finish it. Okay, bye. Hello, welcome to check-in number 3. I think this is book number 4 of the month. I didn't finish it yesterday. Remember how I said I'm going to finish it on Sunday? That's all I was going to do is read this book. I panic bought a suitcase and ran some errands with Elot instead. And like did other stuff. But I got pretty far yesterday. I think I had about 80 pages left this morning, and I finished the book like through the epilogue on my lunch break, and it is now after work time, and I just finished the bonus chapter. I am super into these bonus chapters. This backstage, sorry, Oliver just knocked something over because he's blind. I am really liking the backstage chapters, the bonus content. It's very interesting. It's a story within a story, and I like that. This is book 2, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about what it entails. Mongo is life. I want a baby Mongo, and I am currently shopping for a donut riding Mongo t-shirt. I did ask Elad to help me pick one yesterday, and he was like disgusted. I'm loving it. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the new people that we're meeting. Where's Agatha? Can someone help me? Like, where's Agatha? Where'd she go? I know she's coming back. I like this was also a different setting. We were still in the dungeon, but it didn't feel like it, which was cool. I am currently reading a library book called, hold on. It's called A Tale of Mirth and Magic, and it's a very quick read. So as soon as I'm done with that, I will be starting, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. Yeah, I freaking love this. I love the picking the race, picking the class. Like I loved this. If I didn't have 5 other books to read, I would read this again. So there's my ringing endorsement. It's going on the shelf. This is not technically like a TBR update because this book was not part of my physical TBR. And this might not even make it into the video, but I did just finish The Night and the Moth last night. We're in Hungary, so anyway, whatever. I obviously don't have a physical copy, and I had gotten it from the library, so I didn't have a physical copy anyway, but I just wanted to say I freaking loved it. I loved it. I'm so obsessed, and I kept seeing people talking about it on Fable, being like, I need book 2 immediately. I need book 2 immediately. And I'm like, whatever. No. They were so right. I loved it, and I just want to go back to it. And also, I'm calling everyone Bartholomew now. Thank God for my husband, because he does not care. Like he doesn't even say like, why are you calling me Bartholomew? He just goes with it. God bless him. So anyway, I just wanted to give that update. I have the physical copy of this book, but not with me because I'm traveling. and it is When in Rome. So that's one that I think I bought. Yeah, I bought it used from Eagle Eye Books, and then my mom also got it. She may have gotten it before me in that Barnes & Noble buy one, get one half romance, whatever. So she read it and she finished it the other day and texted me and was like, oh my God, I just finished When in Rome. I loved it. And I'm like, oh, I have not started that. So my library had the audio. I went and grabbed the audio. I'm almost done with that one too. I have just been like soaking up the audiobooks in these little moments where Elot is doing something, or like before we leave the house for the day, or while I'm getting ready, whatever. So that is coming too. And I am really enjoying it. I feel like some of the language is a little over dramatic or repetitive, but it's a good time. Like, I'm having fun. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star by any means, but I'm having a good time. And I do like these sort of compact 3 or 4 book series. And I believe the very last one is coming in November, maybe October, maybe the beginning of December. It's coming later this year. Stay tuned. So yeah, that's my update for now. I will probably be back later tonight or tomorrow morning to share my thoughts once I finish that one. Hello, I'm back. I finished When in Rome this morning and I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I didn't love it. Like, it's not a huge 5-star read, but I'm definitely keeping it. I'm definitely continuing with the series. I thought it was very cute, very fun. There were just little irksome things for me. I didn't like how the female main character did this thing in her mind where she was like, play, 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 polite, polite, polite. Like, do you know what I mean? It was not for me, that kind of, I don't know, it felt almost like childish, and it was very repetitive. But that's mostly what irked me. I love a very grumpy male main character who turns out to not actually be grumpy at all, but just misunderstood. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even think he was misunderstood. I think he was being grumpy, but it was misplaced grumpiness. Anyway, I'm rambling. It was cute. I'm definitely going to keep reading the series. My mom has read it. She actually just finished book 2. She is outpacing me. And since she has gotten back into reading over the past maybe like 6 months, she is always saying, oh, I would read that with you, but I read too slow. She is outpacing me. I know I'm on vacation, but good Lord, is she just flying through them. I can't remember what book 2 is called. Practice Makes Perfect. I think that's the second one that she just finished, and I'm assuming she liked it. I haven't talked to her since we've been here, obviously still in Hungary, and I haven't talked to her yet. I'm supposed to talk to her today. I'm so excited. She's having surgery Friday, so 2 days from now. And I'm really excited for her because I think it's going to be a really good thing. But yeah, that's just a little non sequitur there. So this might not be the next book I finish, but it is one I'm reading, and I'm reading it kind of slowly because I'm reading it as it's an arc. But I'm reading Picture Perfect. I am about, I think, 20% through it, and I started it on the plane to Boston. And I really feel like since Boston, I haven't like stopped for a minute, except on the planes. And I did try to knock myself out and sleep for most of that. So not a ton of sleeping, but that's next. And then again, not a physical TBR book. Like this is a physical TBR book technically because I've already pre-ordered it, but not a physical TBR book is book 2 in the Rome, Kentucky series. And that will be the next book I read, I think. And I have bought a couple of things, and should I show you? Should I show you now? Maybe. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, hold on again. I'll be right back. Okay. So first things first, the notebooks I use for work are technically children's school books. But I love them because like this is a fancy, nicer one that I got yesterday, I think. I like the split pages, and I know we have stuff like this in the US, but I've always had the spiral bound yellow paper ones, and they're fine, but I don't love them. When we were here a couple of years ago in November, we went into, don't slaughter me for my pronunciations, Pyrex papier, I can't remember. But it's one of those ways. And I got like the kids' school ones, which are paper covers. And I bend mine back a lot. So the staples have come away from the cover. These are a little bit nicer. They have more of like a plasticky cover, and I just love using these for work. I love, love, love them. These are also a bit thicker than the ones I got last time I was here. I found this pretty one, and I couldn't pass this one up. Isn't it cool? I can't see if it's focusing. Oh, isn't it so cool? The only thing that would make this better is if the lady was on it. She is my favorite, and she might be in there. Is she? No, I can see the Fisherman's Bastion. I don't see the lady. The lady is like a symbol of freedom, I believe. And she's holding up this big leaf, and I friggin' love her. Where she is called Citadella, and it's been closed. It was closed when we were here last time in November of 2023. It is August 2025. Still closed for renovations. So she better look fresh to death when we get to see her again. If I see another one of those shops, I might go in and see if I can find more of this cover. I just really love it. Oh, it's so cute. So then when we were in that same mall yesterday, we went into Libri. This is the Hungarian version of The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. And it is not only like beautiful and paperback, it has sprayed edges. And like even the top, even the bottom, everything has been sprayed, my friends. And I have been interested in getting a Hungarian tutor to learn Hungarian, at least somewhat fluently. I would never in any world say like, oh yeah, I speak some Hungarian. No, baby. No Hungarian, okay? I do know a lot of swears. But wouldn't it be a cool goal to read this? I've already been looking for a tutor, and I think it would be a really cool goal to be able to read this in Hungarian. I love this book. I love this author. And when I saw it and I just felt like I had to have it. And it is called, this is going to be so bad. Just go with it. Hold on. Let me ask Elad. How do you say this?
What?
How do you say this? Is it Buba Yak Botya? Bubayok. Botya. So I have to learn Hungarian. And then I got this. It's Frankenstein, and it is the Harper Muse copy. So I'm going to take the little thingy off. We're supposed to be eating lunch, so I'm going to hurry. This is the cover. Oh, it's so pretty. Again, a hardback with no dust jacket. And that is the back. Oh, it's so beautiful. I've never read Frankenstein, but it's one of my friend's favorite books. She's obsessed with it. Yeah, for now, that's what I got. I'll show you one other thing that I just think is really cool. I might have crushed it under all of the friggin' books. It is slightly worse for wear. It will still taste delicious. This is the biggest Ischler I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, it's half of my face, okay? And it's getting a little chocolatey. But an Ischler is like a shortbread cookie with jam in the middle. It has like that cutout usually. Do you know what I'm talking about? The cookies they're called something. In English, they're called an Ischler here. And they're then like dipped in chocolate. But the bottom is... So anyway, it was absolutely gigantic. I kept seeing Ischler and I wasn't in the mood to have one. And I saw that one. I was like, I need that. So I bought it and I still haven't eaten it, which is pretty typical for me at this point, but I wanted to show you because it's really cool and it's gigantic. And if you are interested in more content about Hungary, I'm sure I will have vlogs out by this point. By the point you're seeing this, there will be vlogs, and we're having the best time. And I'm gonna go eat lunch because it's very delicious food. And that's it for now. Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm back from Hungary. I'm back from Boston, and I finished another physical TBR book. This is technically wasn't on my physical TBR at the beginning of the month, if that makes sense. Only because when I bought When in Rome and Beg, Borrow, or Steal, I bought them used from Eagle Eye, and they didn't even have like a new copy of this. So this is smack in the middle of the series. This is book 2, and I did end up obviously picking it up. But at the time, at the beginning of the month, I did not physically own this, so it's kind of a wash, but I really enjoyed it. Like I said, this is book 2. I liked it a lot more than the first one, actually. And I liked the first one fine. It wasn't like my favorite thing or groundbreaking or anything, but I really liked this. I love Annie and Will's dynamic. I love Will. He is so good. He's a great mailman character. He is not creepy or gross, and I love that. I also like that from the beginning, he treated Annie differently. Everyone seems to kind of put Annie into a box, and she's sweet Annie, she's angel Annie, Saint Annie, whatever. Everyone just thinks of her in this very particular way. And she has, to this point, not felt confident enough to let people know that it bothers her. She doesn't want to like make anyone mad, which relatable, but she just sort of let herself be put into this box and let herself be this person that she kind of isn't. So she runs a flower shop. She is Noah's sister from book 1. And then Will is Amelia's bodyguard. I'm sorry, executive protection agent. I think that's what they call them, the EPAs. So they knew each other very tangentially in book 1, but Will kind of always had a little bit of a crush on Annie. So I love this dynamic. He ends up giving her dating lessons after kind of a terrible first date that she goes on. And I don't know, I love what they bring out in each other. And I love how each one inspires in the other this self-reflection and this desire to actually learn, what do I want, not what have I always thought was right or what I needed, but like, what do I actually want? And while this is a sweet, fluffy, just a rom-com, you know, I do really appreciate when there is actual substance, when there's actual development, and this was great for that. I am afraid that, you know, next up is Bar or Seal. I'm afraid that Emily's not going to live up to this. I just absolutely loved them together. I loved the flower shop aspect. I love seeing more of the small town. It was just such a good time. I know this is up next, but I am also trying to read The Devils and Billy Summers before the end of the month, which is this Sunday. Today's Tuesday. I'm currently also listening to The Magician of Tiger Castle because I got it from the library, and that is a pretty new release. And so when it became available, I was like, I have to jump on it. I think I got it the day it came out. So it's very rapidly coming to the end of that loan, and I'm almost halfway through it. So I will finish that probably today or tomorrow morning. And then I might jump into this and then go to Billy Summers and then wrap up with The Devils. You may have noticed I have not gotten back into Dungeon Crawler Carl. Book 3 is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, I believe. I tried to do the audio of that when I was in Hungary. I think I mentioned before I was doing the audio and physical book, like immersive reading those, and it worked really well for me. And I was like firing through them. I could not just do the audio. I couldn't focus enough on it, and I felt like I was missing things, and with those books you just don't want to miss a moment. So I have not jumped back into them. It might be a solidly September campaign to finish those books and finish The Inevitable Ruin. I am almost finished with Picture Perfect. I've been taking my time really slowly with that one so that I could make notes for a review, because I take the reviews on NetGalley seriously. I want my profile to look good so I get approved for more, which just ends up stressing me out anyway. So I have that here on the go too. I'm hoping to finish that in, I don't know, the next day or two. I've been in every little free moment just noticing that I'm like picking it up and devouring through chapters here and there. So that is my little update. This is going on the shelf. This is somewhere up next in the queue, and I will see you for my next check-in. Hey y'all, I'm back with an update. It has been a few days. I finished another book. It's not the book I thought it would be. Ever since I mentioned that I was almost done with Picture Perfect, I haven't picked it back up again. To be completely honest, I've been having a hard time getting into and sticking with anything, not specifically getting into things because I have enjoyed everything I've picked up, and there's like a lot that has been on the go lately. But I just haven't had the focus to really commit to what I've been picking up and following through, which is very unlike me. And so it's been extremely frustrating. And all of that to say, I did finish Beg, Borrow, or Steal. I kind of thought I would finish Smother Moss before this, but I did end up sticking to it. I just finished it today during my lunch break, and I liked it. I didn't like it as much as book 2, and part of that, I think, is the conflict that we see in this book. So before I get to that, this is book 3 in the Rome, Kentucky series by Sarah Adams. This follows the eldest sister, Emily, of the Walker siblings. There are 4, so we've seen Noah, Annie, and now Emily. Emily is a school teacher, and she likes everything just so. She is the one who gets very antsy when any of the siblings talk about moving away, moving on, leaving the community that they live in Rome, Kentucky, and she is protective, but it can come across as a little bit limiting. And I think she would even say herself that she limits the people around her because she is afraid they will all leave her in the end. And her mailman character is Jackson. He is a fellow school teacher, and it does feel very enemy and less rival. Like they're not exactly competing for the same spot in the school. They're not competing for the same job or whatever. They're just, there is like a rivalry, but it does feel true enemies. Like they just don't like each other to not like each other. So he moves back to town, to Rome, after a failed engagement, and he ends up being Emily's neighbor. She gets the town to go against him, and then slowly they become friends. She gets the town to open up to him. It's very cute. It's very sweet. There are some issues, like very mildly, of depression and grief here. But again, it is a sweeter kind of rom-com, so it's not going to go too deep, but there is some development. My problem was the conflict. Sorry if there's a million cuts. It's because I keep coughing or sneezing. Of course, it's a manufactured conflict. This is a book. Somebody wrote it. But it felt very out of nowhere, and it felt so clinical and so lacking any passion or grit. Like it kind of annoyed me, and I had to sit it down for a little while. And so this is me picking it up and finishing it today at lunch. It was really weird. It was that really threw me off. I'm glad with how it ended. I like the epilogue. I, of course, love seeing the other siblings. That is one of my favorite things, is to get those glimpses into previous couples' lives. And then also, we have been building what feels like these whole 3 books for Maddie's story. I think I called her Melanie before, but I'm pretty sure her name's Maddie, if I'm not like reversing them again. We're getting her story next, and so there have been glimpses into that. There has been some foreshadowing, I would say, throughout all of these books, so it really gives a nice build up to that, and I'm looking forward to it coming out, I think, in December. So yeah, I didn't love the conflict. I do think Emily is a little more relatable in a way that I had a hard time liking her. Like the things that I don't like about myself, I did not like about her. And so that's not necessarily like a bad thing, just something to keep in mind. I did like that our mailman character rides a motorcycle. There's like a little bit of a connection there. I do feel I've been able to relate to all of the characters in this book, even like the male characters to some degree, in each of these books, which is nice. Like there's a little piece that you can take away from all of them that you can relate to, that you can, see yourself in, and makes them more real. So I like that about these books. And again, they're just fun. So good time. It's staying. It will go on the shelf with her siblings, but the conflict is still leaving a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Back to my reading sort of being all over the place. I am about halfway through Smother Moss. I think I'm just under 100 pages, and the book is like 250 pages. I am enjoying it. I was having a little bit of a hard time getting into it. Some creepy things are starting to happen, which I very much enjoy. So I think from here on, this will probably go pretty rapidly. Today is Thursday. It is August 28th. That means we have 3 more full days, whatever else I can get done today, and then 3 more full days of reading. My birthday is Saturday, and Sunday we are going to see Jaws. It's the 50-year anniversary re-release. All of that to say, yes, I have 3 days. I think I can finish this, like, maybe tonight. Maybe tonight. I don't know. I don't know if I'll finish this before the end of the month because I kind of got stuck. And I haven't been reaching for it. And then the other thing that I have started and not gotten very far in is this absolutely massive 500-page monstrosity. This is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I just took the dust jacket off and I was very pleasantly surprised by this odd design we have on the front. I think I showed this when I bought it, the artwork in the front. Oh, she's thick. And the artwork in the back, I'm kind of obsessed with this artwork. I really love it. But anyway, I am very early in. Can you see? I'm like 35 pages in to this like 500-page tome. However, I have the audio from the library because I thought I might be able to read this while I was in Hungary. I thought a lot of things. You can probably see that. The best laid plans, right? So I do have the audio still from the library, and I was thinking if I can do the audio plus this, I might be able to finish it this weekend too. You never know, because it might start to really hit and I won't be able to sleep. I won't be able to like brush my teeth without like consuming it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, oh God, I love this, especially. It reminds me of The Cycle of the Werewolf by Stephen King, that like graphic novel style novella. Yeah, but I am really liking this too. I really hope to be able to come to you like Sunday evening with the final update, unless I finish this tonight or tomorrow, and just say like, I finished all 3 of these books. It might be wishful thinking, but I'm hoping. That's my plan. That's my update for now. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday, tomorrow lunchtime for my little Smother Moss review. Hi, happy Friday. It's Friday morning. I did finish this. Yes, I did. I'm trying really hard not to rehash everything I've already talked about, but I do think I mentioned this is a book set in the 1980s, Appalachia, southern Pennsylvania, Appalachia to be precise. We are following basically 2 sisters, a 17-year-old and an almost 13-year-old. It's very important that you know that Angie is almost 13, okay? Their mother works long hours at an institution, a mental institution. It was different than I thought it was going to be. The description, was like these 2 sisters who have secrets from each other, da-da-da-da-da. I kind of thought from that these would be like 2 very close sisters. They're not. They're actually even like half sisters. They have different dads, and that seems to create almost like a physical barrier between them. Sheila is the eldest, and she is very closed off. She is very shut down. So the girls are poor, being very, very poor, and they both get bullied, where Sheila shuts down and acts like it doesn't bother her and like completely closes herself off from everyone. Angie is very like confrontational and fights back, and I like Angie. I like Angie a lot. Like, she really grew on me. At first I was like, what is this girl's problem? I ended up really loving her. I love her dynamic with this local man who runs. It's kind of like a general store, but it's for the hikers, if that makes sense, or it's geared towards the hikers at least. And I'm sure community people go there. Angie ends up going there quite often. And she and Butch have like this really kind of sweet, like almost niece uncle dynamic. Like, he watches out for her, but he also doesn't take any of her crap. And I just really, we don't see a ton of it, but I loved what we got. And Angie just really started to grow on me. I think Sheila has a lot going on. She's at an age where everything feels so big. The decisions you make are so important and life shaping, and really it's just like not that big a deal, but it feels so big. And you get that from Sheila, you get that heaviness from her. And then I think with Angie, because she's on the cusp of sort of this like adolescent to teenager place, this border. She has all of this confidence and all of this grit and determination. And I do think part of that is her personality, but I also think part of it is the age as well. She doesn't have the thought to be self-conscious. She doesn't have the thought to wonder what people are thinking about her. She has a very rich imagination. She has a very rich inner life. And I really loved Angie. I like their dynamic. I like how they do come together at sort of like the pinnacle of conflict in this. Let me say this though. If you're looking for a book with explanation, with answers, I implore you, look elsewhere. This just sort of ends. It just sort of fades out. And I tend to like books like that. I tend to like, especially when we have the setup with these characters, that I can imagine where Sheila's path will go, and I can imagine where Angie's path will go. And I also really like that because the sisters were not close, they just don't, there's the age. They don't have a ton in common, and they don't approach life in the same way at all. And while there's something that brings them together, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden now they're best friends and they're thick as thieves and they're close. Like, I kind of like that. It stays true to their personalities. It stays true to who they are as individuals. I really liked it. I've seen very mixed reviews on it, and I don't understand that because I think the writer has this ability to pull you right in. It's very atmospheric. It's very lyrical, descriptive writing. You really feel part of this setting. As rambling and wild as that was, I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think I gave away any spoilers. I'm really trying not to with these little snippet reviews. I'm just sitting down with this for the first time and getting my thoughts out right now. That's probably very clear. But I'm not sure what my rating is. It's definitely over 4 stars. I'm thinking 4.25 because I did truly enjoy it. And I feel like with a book like this where you don't get answers, it's almost like a bonus that you can make up your own story, like what happens next. And so that sort of dividend on reading the book and it sitting with you for so much longer after the fact is like a bonus. So I think I'm going to go with 4.25. I had a really good time. I definitely think I would reread this. I almost want to reread it now, knowing what I know now to see if I pick up on anything else. Does that make sense? All right, so that means I have finished this. I have The Devils to go and Picture Perfect. I have all of today, all of tomorrow, all of Sunday. I might be able to get both of them done. You never know. So let's just see what the next update looks like. All right, bye. Good morning and happy September. Today is Monday, September 1st, which means I'm done with August. I can't finish any more books in the month of August. Also, I want to say, Elot is doing boy crafts outside. So if you hear drills and loud noises, that's why. He's installing E-Track in his new trailer, and it is a loud process. But yeah, so sorry about that, but I just really wanted to get this little final update in. And I finished what I did not really expect to be the book I finished, and that is Picture Perfect. I'm going to try to not have a glare on it. This is an arc for I think it's book 4 of the Big Shot series by Tessa Bailey. It's a sports-centered romance series. So here we have hockey player Robbie Corrigan and college softball pitcher Skylar. They meet in a very contentious way. She is super not into him. He is kind of super into her immediately. And through a fake dating scheme, they get closer. He meets her whole entire family through this process, and it's just kind of a good time. This is set in Boston like the others. Well, everything except the very first book. Like we were in Florida, and now we just live in Boston for the rest of the series. Robbie is not a character that I expected to have a book, and I don't think Tessa expected him to have a book either until she wrote more about him and his like co-rookie Mailer. So I don't know if I said this. Robbie is a pro hockey player on the Bearcats. That's where the connection comes in with the other books. He is a rookie. So he's very new to the team, very new to the league in general. And then Skylar is a collegiate pitcher for Boston University. So they have that shared connection of being athletes at like a very high level. And while Robbie is a rookie and kind of struggling to find his place in the league and on his team, Skylar is very well established. Even though she's a collegiate athlete and he is a professional athlete, she is much more like established in her position almost, if that makes sense. But they share this passion for sport. And I think that was a great connection to have. They really understand the limitations that could put on like a potential relationship. Anyway, it was fun. It was a good time. I'm going to put this down because it's stressing me out to have a glare on it. I will say, like, you guys know, if you've been here for any length of time or know me in any other capacity, I'm not a fan of the third act breakup. Tessa is an author who always does the third act breakup. In my experience, everything I've read, I'm pretty sure there's a third act breakup. It's fine. I mean, I know that's what these books do. It's not my favorite thing about them. However, I will say, without being too spoilery, the third act breakup in this did not bother me so much. I think because of the way the characters were developing and growing, that it was kind of necessary. So I'm not super mad about it. And the only other thing, like, I gave this 4 stars. The epilogue was so cheesy for me, like too cheesy, but I'm happy to have an epilogue. I will complain if there's not one. So it's like a hard line to walk. I mean, I want the epilogue, but the epilogue was a little, So that's that. We'll leave it there so I don't get too rambly. Next, I really thought I was going to finish this over the weekend, but the weekend was packed. Like, the weekend was really busy, so I'm not mad at myself. Also, I'm enjoying this so much, I really want to kind of draw it out as much as I can, but while also wanting to devour it. I am just about halfway through. I love it. This is not what I expected based on the blurb. And I am learning that for me, the blurbs do not translate to the actual book. Like, for me, the blurbs always leave something to be desired or characterize things differently than I experience them while reading. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like I can't count on a blurb. The blurb can get me interested in the premise, but the actual story and experience, and I know the blurb can't be like a spoiler fest, but I feel like the blurbs are letting me down a little bit. I expected this to be about Brother Diaz leading a ragtag group of devils, demons, whatever, on a mission. And yes, sort of, but also not at all. There's like a lot that goes on. And while I find this book absolutely hilarious, it's also gritty and gory and filthy disgusting at times, which I also love. So, like, I don't know what reading this, like, and this at the same time says about me, but I don't really care either. I'm just enjoying everything for what it is. And The Devils is not letting me down. I think it's interesting. I think it's really fun. It's captivating. It is keeping my interest. The plot is moving along so nicely. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave the reviews for here now. If I finish Devils today, I don't think I'm going to. If I finish Devils today, I'll throw it in there just as like a review, but I think it's solidly going to be a September book. So that's all for now. Hey y'all, and welcome to the haul portion of this video. I think the reviews got a little bit long, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, but I did get a lot of stuff, so I'm probably not going to go into detail about every single book that I picked up or give you a summary. Hopefully, as I'm reading through these and I give you a review when I finish them, then you'll get the summary of what they're about. But with that in mind, I'm just going to quickly move through what I picked up. And the first thing I grabbed in the month of August is actually a reading tracker. I found this on Etsy. The seller is the Book Sisters shop, I believe, and I got the color pattern Dark Academia. I am really liking this so far. I haven't started using it, but I am really liking the vibe of it. And I think if you want me to go sort of section by section and show in more detail what is on offer here, I'd be happy to do that in a different video, I think. But I did sort of tab the sections I wanted to talk about, and then I just don't think I have a lot of time in this video to go into so much detail. But I will say it's very nice quality. Like, this is even printed on the inside. Came with a bookmark and one of their little cards. And I'm not a big sticker fan for these types of things. These are more like headers, like monthly headers, and then also section headers for different groupings. The point is, this seems to really suit what I'm looking for. And on top of all the cute little collections they have and sections and things in here. This also has space for 200 book reviews. And that's like a little sneak peek of what those look like. I am just super impressed by this. And so even if nobody wants it, I might just do a more in-depth video anyway. I was thinking before I found this that I was just gonna buy like a digital reading tracker and build my own out and then have it printed at like Office Depot or something like that. And so I'm really actually quite happy that I found this because it seems perfect. The first actual book is Wildcard by Staci Hart. I met Staci in July at Candy Steiner's event and she was very sweet. She writes sweet rom-coms, well, spicy, but she writes more like rom-com type of romance, not so heart-wrenching, and that appealed to me. So I decided to pick up Wildcard. I believe this is book 1 though in a series. It's something Ramblers and it's described as a spicy sports romance. Haven't read it yet. Looking forward to it. And Staci was just delightful. So I felt like I needed to read something by her because, I don't know, I liked her. Next up is An Ancient Witch's Guide to Modern Dating. This was kind of an impulse purchase in Target, but actually when I got home it had been on my list. So I was really impressed with myself. I did not go intending to buy any books when I was at Target, but some days, you know, you're just having a moment and you need a little treat. Next is kind of going into my adventure with Mom when we went to Chattanooga. And when we went to the alpaca farm, they actually had books. I think I may have shown a little clip of that. So this is a fairy tale retelling. It is A Coat of a Thousand Furs by a local author. And I just thought, out of all the ones there, this one seemed the most enticing for me. I am glad that I picked it up. I like to support local authors, and if it's good, I mean, I'll read more of her work. Also, I got a Cosmo sticker. No, was this Cosmo? This might be Theo. They had Cosmo stuff too, but I think this is Theo. We loved the alpacas. If you haven't watched that vlog, like you should, because the alpaca moments are, in my opinion, worth it all. The store I may have been most excited about on that trip was the book and cover. So while I was there, I did pick up Eat the Ones You Love. The girl working there actually recommended this one and it had already been on my list, so it was a very easy sell. She did recommend another book. I will put it here if I can remember what it was. No, I do remember. It was called Monstrilio, I believe. And I have gotten that from the library because they didn't have it. So that would have been the one I picked up while I was there if they had it. She gave me a couple of bookmarks and I got a little mug while I was there too. It just says, read books, stay curious. And then it says the book and cover, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Isn't that so cute? I love it. I'm really glad that I'm filming this now because I would just want to use this so badly. It's so cute. We did also go to McKay's, which is a huge, huge used bookstore. And I found one Lisa Kleypas, none that were in the series, the Wallflower series, but I liked this one and it's like a very floppy mass market paperback. This was $2.95. I left the price tag on so I could remember and tell you guys. And the spine, not broken. That's what I like about these floppy ones. You don't have to break the spine to really open up the book. I wish they were all this floppy, and so the spine is still in perfect condition. It looks brand new for $2.95. Oh, I don't think I said this is Because You're Mine by Lisa Kleypas. Also in McKay's, I found the deal of all deals. This is Forever Golden, and it is, can you see? A box set, and these are supposed to be the real autobiographies of Dorothy, Sophia, Rose, and Blanche. It is a collection of 4 books, one for each of the girls, and it's supposed to be their actual biographies. I don't know. It's gimmicky, of course. I love that it came in a box set, and would you look at that? $1.50. It could have been $5. I would have taken it because it's Golden Girls and it's unique, and I've never seen this collection before. Anybody else? No? I've never seen this. So I would have taken it, you know, for like $5, but $1.50, honey, in this economy. Anyway, our final stop on that trip was Book and Barrel in Ringgold, Georgia. I think that's what it's called, Book and Barrel. I did get in there Dungeon Crawler Carl book 4 and book 6. Those are the only ones they had that I didn't, these might have been the only ones they had, full stop. Look how big this is. Dear God, I'm terrified. So I did get 3 and 5. Are those the others? Yeah, I think so, 3 and 5. So I am now fully stocked with Dungeon Crawler Carl. I expected at this point in the month to have at least read book 3 and maybe book 4, or at least like halfway through book 4 somewhere. Haven't read this. Tried doing it in Hungary. I think I mentioned this. I tried doing it in Hungary when I only had the audio and I just couldn't, it didn't work for me. So I'll be jumping back into that soon once I'm done with the next book, Wyatt. This is a pre-order. This is book 2, and I believe it's called The Lucky River Ranch by Jessica Peterson. The first book is Cash. That right here, isn't it cute? Look at the sprayed edges. So this one also has very cool sprayed edges. I love the covers. These are like a re-release. I think this was already out. There's like a new cover and like deluxe edition offering. Looking forward to this one. It will be read before this video even goes up probably. Next, I believe I showed this already in my Boston vlog. Let me get a little closer. This is Beacon Hill books, and I love the little squirrel. The squirrel design was kind of everywhere in that store. And the 2 books I got were Dinosaurs at the Dinner Party and Guard in the Garden. Again, I showed these already in the Boston vlog, so I'm not gonna get too in the weeds with them, but I did get also a couple of these bookmarks. Can you see it? The squirrel, Beacon Hill Books and Cafe. Now from Boston, we move into Hungary. And again, I already showed these, but this is Frankenstein. You will have seen a close-up of that. The Hungarian version of The Spell Shop, which has the beautiful sprayed edges. I got these notebooks that I talked about in probably too much detail. And then I don't think I showed these yet. So when we were at Lake Balaton, which is kind of a beach experience, I guess you could say, but a lake, I don't know. It's very fun. There was a man who had like a book tent situation. So I grabbed these 2. It's book 1 and 2. These are very much like a young reader, maybe elementary to middle school, and they're in Hungarian. I thought I could translate them as part of my wanting to learn Hungarian thing. Sorry if you can hear Bruno. He's like rubbing his whole body into the carpet. But these are, I think it's Machka Detective, and they are little cat detectives. So there's book 1, book 2. This is the Pendragon Legenda. This is in Hungarian. There is some English on the back of it though. And also like, just look, doesn't that look so cool? What is going on? It looks so neat. So I decided to pick it up. I didn't know that it wasn't English and Hungarian together. Like the friend I was with said like, oh, maybe it's one of those bilingual books because there's the English on the back. Now you might be thinking, Meg, how did you not open it up and see that it's only Hungarian? It was wrapped. The guy had it wrapped up. And so Elad was like, just freaking get it. Who cares? It's all Hungarian. So I think I'm going to give this to my mother-in-law because I found it in English and I really did, like I had looked it up while I was there and I was like, yes, this is a book that I would like to read. It is about a young Hungarian scholar in England. He is at the end of like the London season, and this is set in the 1930s. It's between World War I and World War II. So they're sort of at the end of the London season. He gets invited to this like mysterious earl's estate, and everyone says like, don't go. Don't go. He goes. So it just sounded really good. It sounded up my street. And this is the Pendragon Legend by Antal Serb. And yeah, this is the English version. This is the Hungarian version. Like I said, the Pendragon Legenda. And I just think that cover is too cool. Like it's so much cooler than this one, right? One of the bookstores we went into that specializes in English language books had this, and it's easy Hungarian recipes in English. So I had Elad look at a couple of these recipe books that they offered in English to see what he thought would be not even good value for money, but like just good recipes to have, or recipes that would be more accessible for me. And he picked this one, and I'm so happy that he did. Like, I'm so excited to have this. Also in there, I don't think I said what that store was. It's called Bestsellers, and they specialize, like they have a lot of English language books. They also have French, German, Spanish, maybe some other languages, but a ton of books in English. So I did see this, The Radleys by Matt Haig, and I do like Matt Haig as an author. I really like Matt Haig. And this had been on my radar for a long time. I've been waiting for it to come to my library. I have like the little notify me notice on there for when one of the libraries I'm attached to gets a copy, and still nothing. So I'm really happy that they had this. and I picked it up. I think this is about vampires. I think this is about a family of vampires. Could be wrong, but again, we're rapid firing. We're moving through these. In bestsellers, I also got Hungarian folk tales. This is obviously in English. I love a folk tale, folklore, fairy tales, legends, what have you. Love them. And this has the traditional sort of Hungarian, like bird floral motif. This is very, very Hungarian. Last up in bestsellers, they didn't have like their own bookmarks, but they had these cute little autumnal bookmarks. And this pumpkin one, little jack-o'-lanterns, was my favorite. The next place we went was, I think, my favorite of all of the bookstores in Hungary that I have been to. And it was called Libri Bookshop, I believe. I'll link all the places we went below in all the cities. And I got Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep by Philip K. Dick. There were so many books in this store that I wanted to buy. I wanted like everything. They had the most beautiful copy of The Teller of Small Fortunes. Yes, The Teller of Small Fortunes, the hardcover. First of all, the dust jacket is beautiful. Second, the hardcover underneath, even more beautiful. And I had to really rein myself in and not buy it. So I think a lot of people know about this book. I didn't realize that this was the inspiration for Blade Runner. I've just had Philip K. Dick on my roster, I guess, for a long time. And they had this sweet little stack of his books in the sci-fi section. And I just thought, I'm taking one of those. So this is the one I ended up with. Super happy. Love the owls. Very cute. I got this. This is called Blackwater. And it is Blackwater Book 1, The Flood. This is set in Alabama after some sort of weird, I don't know, torrential rain causes a flood. And it was in the horror section. I don't know too much more than that, except that it is absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's doing some weird like reflection thing that I like. I love it. It looked really interesting. The back, this is just the blurb. It's tiny, tiny little blurb. And it got me. It drew me in. So this is part of a series. I don't remember how many there are, but this is the British publication, and I did find the rest of them on Blackwell, so if I love it, I will be buying the rest of the series. I also wanted to show you something else I got while I was in Hungary that is not book related. I think, as most of you know, my mom had surgery while I was gone. We didn't know, obviously, at the time that she was going to be having surgery. It just sort of happened, and then it was like, well, we're leaving in a week. So she really likes these ceramic flowers. I brought them to her last time from the Christmas market, and she had said when we go back, she wanted more. So there is an actual store that sells all of these. Elad was like, where are you going to get them? It's not Christmas. And I'm like, there's a store. I was already planning to go and get her more. And then when we found out about her surgery, I'm like, I'm building her a whole bouquet. I did bring some back for myself. So I brought back the little lavender. This is like a tiny, some kind of daisy or something. More, I don't know what all of them are, but I do love them. They're my favorite thing. They do also, I'll link their website. They sell these, can you see that? Internationally. They ship internationally from their website. Look at this teeny tiny little sweetie. And then this might be my favorite. It's like a cone flower or something, echinacea. I don't know. Those are the only two flowers that I know of that kind of look like this. And I love it. So I already have these. My mother-in-law bought me these sort of bluebell, snowbell, whatever you want to call them, ones. And then I had the rest from that first trip. If you can see, I was really having a purple moment. And they're not really working in this vase anymore. So I'm going to have to figure out some other way to display them. But I did want to show those because I think they're really sweet and they're unique. And one of the things Hungary is known for is their ceramics. So I feel like it's a really special and unique to Hungary type of gift. This is another pre-order. This is Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. I did get an ARC. I don't know if I talked about it, but I loved this book. I loved this book. And I believe it was Waterstones was offering a signed pre-order. So this is a signed copy. Also, isn't that cover just beautiful? Initially, when I was going to pre-order this, it was going to have green sprayed edges, and I was okay with that. I did not realize that this was going to have different sprayed edges. And again, you can see the cover is just a very beautiful floral, viney, and then it's like, oh, hey, here's this weird, creepy snake made out of the vines. Y'all know I love T. Kingfisher. I love T. Kingfisher, and this book was no exception. The end pages are pretty weird, right up her street, but the biggest surprise for me was the sprayed edges. I can't believe how beautiful they are. I cannot believe. I was shocked. I didn't know it was going to be like this. So pleasantly surprised. Loved this book. Love her. Can't wait to put it on my shelf with those sprayed edges out. It's going to look phenomenal. Wrapping up, I did have another hard day equals going to Target and looking at the books because it's just really close by. I picked up Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. I already have book 1 in this series. What's it called? One Dark Window. So I have that already. And then I read The Night and the Moth when we were in Hungary. I had it from the library and I loved it. So my friend Kat was like, have you read this? It's like the Shepherd something duology. And I was like, no, but it's quickly moving up on my list. So that is going to be on my fall TBR. And I wanted to have this ready to go with it because it will be there as well. Something else that's been on my radar is Mickey 17. I know. This has a permanent sticker. Who am I? Who have I become? It also has Robert Pattinson on the cover. I'm not usually a fan of like the movie, TV show adaptations, but I love Robert Pattinson. Don't tell anybody. I love Robert Pattinson. Like still, all these years later, I for sure have a crush on him. So I did not care that this was the movie. And I've been waiting to get this from the library, so I didn't buy it. And it still says several months wait, and I have been waiting already for several months, so I just freaking gave in and I got it. Now, this, The Bark of the Bog Owl, was a true impulse purchase. I don't even remember where I got this, I'm going to be so honest with you. I think this is young reader, maybe middle grade, fantasy adventure type book. I think this got me, and then also maybe this aggression here. I love an aggressive animal. This is part of a trilogy, I think. The Wilder King trilogy. Yes. And this is like the 20th anniversary special. It's a hardcover with no dust jacket. That's my love language, is a hardcover with no dust jacket. So I'll let you guys know how I get on with it and then maybe continue the trilogy. My birthday did fall at the very end of the month, and I got a few books for my birthday. Shock horror. One is from the Reading Attic. I went in there, hold on, I'm gonna try not to crinkle too much. I went in there with my mother-in-law while my husband and my father-in-law were downstairs having a tea. They're not big readers. And she bought me this. Everyone in my family has killed someone. This is an Alice recommendation, and I believe she has read the second one that's out now. It's like Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. I want to say that's book 2. But she liked it, and so I thought I might like it. I love the cover. I think it's going to be if it's a good mystery or like a fun mystery, it's going to be perfect for me. I'll enjoy it. And the final 2 books may come as no surprise to you if you saw an earlier clip of me waxing poetic about my Harper Muse painted edition of Frankenstein. And so my mom got me the Harper Muse painted Winnie the Pooh. I just think this is so pretty. I love how they do these. I'm trying to block out whatever it wants to focus on that isn't. Look, there's Owl. Oh. And then my brother got me The Wizard of Oz. We'll just take the sleeve off of that one. I love the rolling fields in this cover and the Emerald City way back here. It seems like it's having a hard time focusing, and I'm really sorry about that. And then here's the back. You can see a bit of the poppy fields. Really, really so excited for these. I think these are beautiful. Now, that is a lot. That's a big haul, and that means reading fewer books this month and buying and being gifted so many books this month that I did not get under 300. In fact, I ran the numbers today and we're at 319. That doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound great. I know there's more pre-orders coming in September, In fact, I received one today. However, it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, and I will read it quickly. I know that because I'm very motivated. But I think with that being said, I'm just not going to set any sort of goals or make any predictions for the next month. I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself to read as much as I can, as quickly as I can. And I just want to enjoy the books that I have. I want to read things as they're coming out too, and still read all of these collected books that I have as well. So I have a little bit of a plan for a fall TBR. I have like a fall vibes TBR and then like a spooky TBR coming. And I'm really looking forward to putting those together. I've already collected a lot of books for that. And I'm just feeling really excited about that. I started a winter one as well. I'm just feeling sort of the inspiration for those TBRs. And I have travel vlogs. I think Boston will be up by now. And then Hungary is probably going to be in at least 2 parts. I can see 2 parts for sure. This video is going to be hella long anyway, so you never know. I might just do 2-hour-long Hungary vlogs, but there's a lot going on right now, and I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. I just want to have fun. I just think there's a lot of good stuff coming up, and I want to enjoy it and not be so militant about reading. I'm just going to read what I want when I want and not get too caught up in the numbers. So that's me. That's August sorted. It's September. I've already finished 1 book. Elot is home, and so that means I just need to wrap this up. If you've made it this far and you watch this, I know it's over an hour long. I know it is. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.